What's going on, guys? Welcome to the 5280 zone. You are here with my boy Vic Locke and me, Joe Pro. It is nice to see all of you all again, and welcome back to the show. We are excited. We got a lot of different things going on, some new content coming through. Cruz has been in and out of the studio trying to build all of these new overlays and new graphics and everything else. What's going on, Matt? How are you doing? Nice to see you making some comments early on into the show. I'm looking forward to it. Uh, yeah, so Cruz, our producer, has been going through and he's been killing all these graphics and making sure that we have everything available. And he's been putting a lot of late nights in trying to get stuff going. So, if you have any suggestions, please shoot them to us. Vic, or over to the Rocky Mountain Sports Network, and we can definitely try to hear some of your ideas. I'm excited about some of the things that we're through that are coming to us. A lot of exciting things coming up, and one of the things we want to announce, and I'm going to announce this on, and we'll announce it a couple more to the show. But on December 19th, we have a live show actually at San Diego. At the Guava Beach Bar and Grill with the team of Mile High West team club out there, and we're super. And so we will come in more with some updates next week's show. Next week's show is going to be live, so everybody knows. And, the Facebook messages, make sure follow and like, subscribe. Networking, you'll see updates. Matt, sorry that you're fighting a cold still. I'm glad that you're here as well, man. It's good to see people come out, show their support, and we get too far into it. For Big Bat too, we want to Willow Seasonings, putting a little scare life. You can go check it out, willowseasonings.com. Thank you again to our sponsors. Vic.
Yep.
I know it was kind of a short week between shows.
I think you cut out there a little bit, but it's been a pretty busy week for me, work related stuff. But a lot of stuff going on with the Nuggets, a lot of stuff going on with the Broncos. Some key games coming up here shortly, kind of really testing out and seeing where the coaching staff makes adjustments going into this game over at Arrowhead. So excited to talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it has been kind of a crazy big for us. We've been in and out, stuff done, and help Cruz along. And I am having some connection. I am still. I have been for about 2 months now, and so my has been kind of not that great. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. If you can't, we'll work through it. Try to get that figured out as best as we can. If Victor will cover down on all of our things.
Yeah, we're having a couple technical difficulties here. I know when Joe gets back, we'll probably speak more about the Nuggets. But one of the things that we were going to cover, or just the general game plan kind of scheme of things for today, is we're going to be going over past games with the Nuggets here that just came off of a game against the Orlando Magic on Wednesday, going over, like I said, game plan, strategy, key points to playing in Arrowhead. And then I think there's a segment that Joe created specifically. It's one of those things where if you were kind of stranded on a, deserted island type deal, except we're going to use a mountain as our point, right?
Yeah,
but it looks like
okay.
we're back. So, I mean, I was just giving them a little bit kind of a game plan of what we're going to be speaking on today. If you want to take over.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and hit the Nuggets real quick. That's the suggestion. Hopefully my connection will hold. There are more people in this hotel, so we're losing connection. People taking a bandwidth. But let's talk to the Nuggets. Let's talk Nuggets real quick and hit because the Nuggets had a very tough game this past week against the Orlando. right now the Nuggets are sitting at 10-11. And they had just a bad skid of game, both at home and away, and it's just due to all things that have taken place the last couple of weeks, and we're trying to find rhythm with the injuries that this week game. We had Rivers and Bones both into the safety and protocol, safety, health and safety protocol NBA has in place, and they do produce 2 negative tests that they can come back. They were exposed. My knowledge, they have not tested positive following Bones. He was not being about and the decisions that he has put in place on him and Austin Rivers. So that game, blue key players that we had going into this game, trying to help bolster that defense, and bolster the bench itself. It definitely crushed us. Monty Morris led this game with 2 points, 2 assists, and 2 rebounds. And Joker following up 18 points, 14 rebounds. 15 rebounds, 7 assists. So, Jokic had a normal game for him, for his normal. And, Monty Morris kind of led the team. I was a little bit more from Aaron. He had a good defensive game. I went and watched that game. We talked about Monday when we dreamed, but we talked about that game and they ended up winning that one. But the game on Wednesday, the Magic, I was really, really hoping that we'd come out of or win, but that was moving on to today's game. We need to go and put our board and really come back and play ball. Hopefully by the time we'll get 2 negative test Bones or both of them, because we see them back out on the court. We have too many injuries for them not to be out there on the court, so we're trying to figure that all out. It hasn't the greatest season for the Nuggets. Vic, you hear me okay?
You're like in and out a little bit.
Ooh. Okay, sorry, y'all. We can get through, kind of figure this out as long. I don't exactly is going on. It's not working.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm breaking up on my end, but I'm having a couple little issues here too. But
okay.
Please bear with us as we try and navigate through our technical difficulties.
Yeah, if not, then we'll try to figure this out and come back at you later if we can't figure this out. But as of right now, we'll go ahead and keep pushing through. Vic, that's kind of breakdown right now. I'll try to keep the show shorter since we don't know what the extent of our difficulties are going to be. Vic, let's go ahead and talk the Broncos now. Let's talk this Broncos and Chiefs injury. Looking forward to what is going on with what lies ahead guard. So here, Kennedy, final injury that was released today. Clyde Edwards is questionable with illness. He practiced on Friday, not listed for Wednesday or Thursday. He's the only one that I was, and he was going to be full for non-injury, personal injuries, personal matter. So this is the only one I was really concerned with staying out on the field. I was, I want to see a guy get hurt, but nice not to have them on the field, just to give us every little bit of advantage that we possibly can. And then we'll go ahead and let's essay injury report for the Broncos. Injury report had a total 18 players. Vic, who stands out to you most on the injury report?
Okay, so I mean, just like you were showing both reports now, I mean, obviously the list is completely different in size, right? Unfortunately, we as Denver fans, whether it's Nuggets or Broncos, we got a lot of people injured and a lot of people that aren't being able to go out there and do what they're meant to do and make an impact on this team. The people that stand out to me right off the bat, is the fact that we're not going to have Gordon out there. He's been pretty consistent these past couple games with going with Williams 1-2 punch, utilizing both running backs. And I know that gives Williams a good opportunity here going into this game. A lot of chances to get him the ball and get him some yards, some snaps. I mean, it's just a lot of people if you look at that list, and it's never good to have, I think, what is it, 17, 18 people out of a 53-man roster potentially questionable or just not able to be out there on the field. Reisner's still on that unavailable list. He's not able to go out there. Garrett Bowles was activated, so that's one thing I'm interested in seeing if he's able to help out that O-line a little bit more. I mean, the guys last game did an outstanding job. And maybe having them back out there with them, alongside them, is able to give that O-line a little bit more strength.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that you're nailed right on the head with all the different individuals that you're there. My biggest my biggest concern here on this list was Melvin Gordon being listed as doubtful, and we were really hoping for like a one punch between him and Pookie Williams, and really setting the tone for this run game. Like you said, bringing out Michael Boone, who will get the similar result we were looking for. I don't know if that's really necessarily going to happen or not. But that was one of the things that we talked about for some of the keys to this game, that it was going to be a matter of setting that run first kind of offense, get the ball rolling on field on the ground before putting the ball in Teddy's hands, and trying to make sure that we kind of hold the lead or hold the minutes of the game, especially for situations like this. You know what I mean? So, what do you think the biggest struggles that has to face this week?
I mean, going into this game, like I said, it's always good to look at that O-line coming back strong, adding Garrett Bowles to that. But what I really want to focus on is our defense, looking at primarily the rush. If we can keep Patrick Mahomes on his feet, these past couple games, he's been kind of inconsistent, throwing off his back foot. It looks like at one point it was probably a good thing for him to look like he was playing Madden. Right now, it doesn't look like it. He's been throwing a lot of interceptions, a lot of incomplete passes. So if we can get in there, disrupt him a little bit, throw him off his game, and continue to have that pressure applied and have him make bad decisions, it's only going to help us.
Yeah, no, I understand that. The last time Denver won Arrowhead, December, was 2015, man. This is a tough game for the lead of the division, and it's going to also for a spot in the playoffs, actually, because even though we beat the Chargers, they have won 2 other games in the division, so currently ahead of us due to the number of wins they have in the division. So if we don't go out and win the game, we're going to be putting ourselves into a situation where we may not be able to make playoffs. So this is a game that we've been talking again and week out, just because of the situation that we've kind of gotten ourselves into. We're right now sitting at 6-5, but we're half game out of first place, man, and that's really exciting for us to be in a situation like this, especially with the last a couple down seasons that we really have. Well, actually, all of the seasons since Super Bowl 50, we've really been a downward roll. So to be able to see them go up and be competitive, I think this is going to be a game for us to really focus in on.
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about really looking at this game, it's not even just Patrick Mahomes. We have to look at containment, especially in that midfield area. You got to think about Travis Kelce and who we're going to put on him as far as coverage. You got to look at I mean, if Edwards, what's his name, Hilaire, the running back that came out of LSU that was drafted by the Chiefs, if he's able to play, I know he was listed as questionable. Like you said earlier, you don't hope injury on anybody, but having a guy like that out the game is kind of a big deal as well, because that guy, even though he's not a big back, he's very, very shifty in that backfield, and he reminds me kind of like a Darren Sproles that can you can kind of lose him over the lineman, and next thing you know, he's downfield. So there's a lot that goes into this game.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is a big thing that we we have struggled with pretty consistently, was that there's those type of elusive runners, those smaller style backs. They've always struggled with them. And you brought up Darren Sproles, and Darren Sproles had a very good outing against us every time he came to play against us, whether that was with the Saints or with the Eagles or with the freaking
Chargers. Or with the Chargers. Yeah, that's correct.
We always struggle against we have always struggled against that. And different players come in and out, this, that, the other, but Denver seems to always struggle with those types of backs. So I'm looking forward to hopefully giving us the ability to shut him down this week and not give him too much field to work with, because if we don't, that's going to be the our Achilles heel in this game, is allowing them to get the run game started and that's going to allow Mahomes some of the plays that he makes, getting all over the field. And Mahomes, sometimes he just gets lucky with some of the throws that he makes, but at the end of the day, it is it's who he is as a player, and we need to be ready for that. A lot of little trickery plays and little back tosses to Tyreek and stuff like that. Those are the things the Broncos need to be expecting, because it's not going to be a it's not a straight up type of game. They come in there ready to participate in whatever type of plays make it go downfield, and that is not something that the Broncos are very good with this past season. We don't go after any type of trickery plays, and we're playing old school hard football, and that's what we need to stick to our roots this week. We don't make too many changes from what we did in that game against the Chargers.
Right. So now shifting from defense, looking at offense, what do we have to do on the offensive side of the ball to be smart with the clock and ultimately put us in a position to win? I know we talked about the run game, so
yeah, definitely the run game, establish that early on. But because if we don't establish that game, we're not going to be able to open up fast, and we're not going to be able to keep Teddy standing upright, because Teddy likes to linger longer than most quarterbacks do, and that is where his sacks have come from. It is an issue with him not being release the ball. Well, if we do some of those drop type plays, I think better ability to keep ourselves in the game.
Right. Because I mean, it's hard to look at the game and they're gonna want to make Teddy make these throws. And that's kind of where we get in the danger zone a little bit. I mean, he's proven to be pretty accurate, which is a lot better than what I honestly thought he was going to be when the season first started. But you got to think also we got people like the Honey Badger out there that are just waiting to see that floater just kind of hang up there for a second or two and take advantage. So it definitely established the run game, and then looking at play action. And possibly utilizing the tight ends a little bit more, even if it's shovel pass, something like that. Just gain yardage, keep momentum flowing, and run down that clock.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with what you're saying there, and I think that's going to be a big thing for us, is being able to make sure that we control the clock. Both on the offense or defensive side of the ball, controlling that clock, making sure that stopping and playing our game. We say a lot, but controlling our tempo, controlling how we push the game is going to be a big factor in this test, I think. I know we're still having activity issues, so we're going to go ahead and move on to the next segment real quick. try to move along. So this is a new segment, and it's going to be called High and Dry. This is a segment where Victor and I choose things that would keep us alive on top of a mountain. And one of those things we, keep our sanity. Talk about Broncos game past. Now, Vic, you talked about this a little of the show, and we talked about some of the games would be necessary for us to be able to live up, keep our sanity of which games we're going to be needing to over and over and over again, and we're on top of a mountain. So without further, this overlay is going to go really quick because our other overlay is not being, it's not uploading. So I'll press play on this a couple times so people can see it. But Vic, go ahead and break that first three, and then I'll go ahead and shoot overlay.
Okay. Yeah. So first game, obviously, 31 seconds, 1987. 9 plays. Elway drives us all the way down against Cleveland. And it was a 2020 game, and we are on the 5-yard line, kicks it, or not on the 5-yard line, but last 5 seconds they kick a field goal for a win. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. It's the drive. Just such a big memory for not just Denver, but sports fans in general. My next game would be Tim Tebow doing his thing. He's going out there in overtime and just throws one out beautifully. Just Demaryius Thomas, 80-yard in overtime for a touchdown win over the Steelers. And then my last one, it'd have to be Super Bowl 50. I just like seeing how Cam was completely destroyed by such a strong and just I don't even know what other word to describe it as, but elite defense.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I'll go with my 3. Again, we apologize that this graphic is not working, but knowing that it's not working the way we wanted it to. Again, new system, new things in place, they're not working entirely the way we wanted to. But so my top 3, number 3, coming in with the 20-point deficit back in 2015. With 2015 Manning and on football, and coming back and absolutely destroying the Chargers, leading us back from a 20-point deficit. I think the game was super crazy to watch. I was in where was I? I was in San Diego. I was at the game. I remember being really upset I wasn't at that game. It was awesome to see Manning go back, take the Chargers, especially because I had a real disdain for the Chargers. That's my life. I hated Phillip Rivers. I hated Phillip Rivers and so being able to see him get beat up by Manning was definitely a glorious thing. The next one's very similar, and this is why we're friends, and we're doing this show together. My number 2 game again was the same game. Tebow throwing a beautiful dart to Demaryius Thomas. I have a couple different reasons for this game. So probably the way that game did was pretty awesome. The first time that the NFL had implemented those new rules for the playoffs in regards to if you score on the first drive, win the game. Because before offs at that point, if it was just the first one to score was the winner of the game in overtime. But at that point, they made the rule for the playoffs. Each team could get the ball, attempt to score, but if you scored in the first drive, you won the game. So the other team did not get an opportunity to score the ball. So that was a new rule that they had implemented, and I think that was something very exciting for us to go out and be the first ones to get the rule and go out there and crush it and do exactly what we needed to do. So that's one of the reasons why I love that game. Number 2 was just that it was such a competitive game. You know, facing the Steelers, it was always a real tough game. But that game in particular, we also had the Steelers were all missing some players. I can't remember his name right now. I think it was Ike Taylor, or their corner, or I'm sorry, their safety. I can't remember his name right now, but the safety, he had sickle cell, and with one of the conditions comes along with sickle cell is that he couldn't come out to Denver because of the high altitude, and he couldn't participate or play over there. So it was a big thing. Everybody was again, we don't want to see injuries, but everybody was really kind of like, oh man,
Isaiah
this
Taylor
is going to give us a chance, huh?
I think you're thinking about, is it Isaiah Taylor?
I think it's Ike Taylor.
Or Ike, yeah, Ike Taylor. Yeah. Okay.
I might be thinking somebody. It might be somebody else. Honestly, I can't remember right now. It was a while ago, but yeah. So him not being able to participate in that game, I remember that. Hey, everybody talking mad smack on Tebow about how he couldn't throw the ball and this, that, the other, and then he goes out there and proves them wrong. Granted, again, they didn't have a player back there, and some of my friends that were Steelers fans were like, "Well, it's because we didn't have our best player out there that could have covered down on that play." Blah 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 blah. Whatever. At the end of the day, a loss. We've advanced offs and moved on to the next round, which we ended up losing the next round, anyways. But it was still a fun and exciting game. It was a really memorable game for me. And then the number 3 game. Same thing as you there, Vic. And we could only choose one Super Bowl, because if not, I would have just chose all 3 Super Bowls. The number 3 or number 1 game for me was Super Bowl 50. This one's for Pat, and seeing again Orange Crush dominant type defense, seeing the no fly zone. Seeing Demaryius Thomas go out there and win a ring with Peyton Manning. I wish Champ would have been there for that game as well, so Champ could have got his Super Bowl ring as well. But there was just a lot of great things to see the sheriff go right off in the sunset and everything else. That's exactly what it was a super memorable game for me, and I got to watch it with my brothers. I got to watch it cruise and my dad and stuff like that. So it was super cool. But we're gonna switch gears real quick for this last thing, because like I said, we're still having a lot of technical difficulties and getting a lot of little private messages over here from Vic, and he can't hear me, and I apologize. Hopefully next week's show is gonna be great because I'm gonna be back on my own Wi-Fi. I'm gonna be home next week, so
there you
go. Yay me! Everybody, y'all get to see me, and with no nothing. Well, knock on wood, hopefully nothing goes crazy at my house, and I've been away for a little while, so all my Wi-Fi and all my setup at home is all set up correctly still. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you, Vic, I don't know if you saw this. There's 2 videos that are coming out of Denver sports world. The Jokic comments from when he was getting booed in Miami. I don't know if you saw that.
I saw a snippet of it. Yeah.
Okay, so Jokic is asked by a reporter after the Miami game about being booed, and he came back and was like, he's like, bro, I played in Serbia, basically. And then they show the clip of him playing in Serbia and getting booed by fans in Serbia, and like the stadium was shaking. And I was like, yeah, that's awesome. I would love to go to a Serbian basketball game now, because that looks legitimately super cool. And look, I've been to Europe and stuff like that, and I've got to go to a European soccer game. When I went to a Juventus game, and man, those Europeans, they get crazy out there when it comes to their for sports in general, not just soccer, but for their sports. And you see that in the Olympics, and you see that at the World Cup, and they bring horns and noisemakers, and they're going all over the place. You don't see that in the NFL. You don't see that. I mean, when the NFL travels over to England and London and stuff, you see some of that stuff, but you don't see that in the NFL. Their fans are passionate, and it comes from the word fanatic. Those are real fans, through and through. They support their team. I mean, they schedule their whole lives around the games, around the season, around everything. And it's not the same. It's kind of similar, I guess, here in the United States a little bit when it comes to like maybe the Super Bowl, but this is like game in, game out thing. And, that's, I'm real passionate about the Broncos. And I know you are too, Vic. Me and you, anywhere we're at, we make sure that we're either watching it on our phone, we're watching the game cast if we can't get the game, or we're calling people listening to the game, or I'm having my dad give me the play-by-play or Cruz do play-by-play. So I guess there are some fanatics out there for sure, but it's same like I said. So not the same way that what Jokic was talking. Jokic was talking about specifically about how passionate the fans are over in Europe and in Serbia. So I thought that was a really cool clip. So if you haven't seen that, go ahead.
I think his one of his last remarks or his comments on that, where he's like, I'm not worried about it, just a few boos, like he kind of like shook it off, like, no, that's like this doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, probably it was probably like little sounds of crickets compared to the way the stadium in Serbia.
Right.
So I'm gonna find that clip and I'll add it to the comments. So if you're not watching this live and you go back and watch this later on, the YouTube video will be in there for that clip as well, down below. And then the last another clip that I've seen on social media, and this is something that me and Vic will go kind of back and forth with over the next couple weeks. This is kind of like new stuff that we're trying out, the high and dry segment. Hopefully we'll get that to work properly next week. But for the sheriff himself, Peyton Manning, did you see that he is now a Madden ratings adjuster?
Yep. A Madden adjuster.
He's getting himself back into the NFL, other than just commentating on Monday Night Football with Eli, which, by the way, I absolutely love. It is hilarious. Him sitting eating during the games is like, it's just a peek in his life. I just love it. But what do you think about him being a Madden rating adjuster?
I love it because you know what? Not only was he obviously a great quarterback, but based off of the way that he really saw the game and how he broke it down, whether it was offense or defense, he can really key into these players, what their speed looks like, what their IQ is about, averaging. And honestly, I mean, I can't think of anybody better with the offensive mindset to be able to look at a defense and really dissect the player's attributes. So, yes. Obviously he does it in a funny way.
Oh yeah, definitely. So they're gonna be putting something out on NFL, the NFL social media platform. So you probably go check that out. Victor's the one who shared it with me on Instagram, so I'll make sure that he shares that link over to our Facebook comments as well, so that everybody can check it out. But him and another ratings adjuster was Chad Ochocinco. I thought that was hilarious as well, because Chad has the biggest mouth, and you can go well, he's back to Chad Johnson. I don't know if he's Ochocinco anymore, but anyways, him being who he is and being able to adjust, and he was talking smack about how Manning was gonna go out there and rate some of these individuals. But I loved how Manning was drawing on cover of the new this past year's Madden, and drawing on Brady's face, and telling him that his
accuracy needs to go down.
High. Yeah. So I thought that was hilarious. I think that was great. Love anytime that they can incorporate Manning or the Manning brothers in general into the NFL. They're both very, very funny individuals on and off the field. So it's good to see them hanging around. It's kind of like those peaked in high school kind of guys, they're Letterman jacking around, and they're hanging around the school and talking about the football game and stuff like that. And you're looking at them like, man, you need to move on with your life. But these are the two individuals that don't move on with their lives. You want them to be there. You want them to continue hanging around because they're the cool guys.
Right.
And they make it funny. They make it worthwhile, worth watching. So I'm excited to keep them on Monday Night Football. I think that's one of the best things to be able to watch that stream, vice just the regular NFL stream. So anyways, again, we've been having a lot of technical difficulties this week, so we're gonna go ahead and cut this stream a little short this week. You would have gotten a full hour because of the difficulties that we're having. I keep getting, like I said, I keep getting pinged by Victor over my private message, telling me, Joe, I can't hear you. Joe, I can't hear you. You're choppy. We're gonna go ahead and just cut it now. But please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. We are on all major social media platforms: TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So please go check them out. Again, like, share, subscribe to the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. The Rocky Mountain Sports Network logo is up there. You can look for them on Facebook or any other social media platforms. Like I said, you can type in hashtag RMSN or the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. You'll be able to find them on any of the social media platforms. We will continue to build our platform, and you'll see our hashtags and stuff that will include the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. But that's where we're on. So if you need to get hold of us, message us or anything like that, or you have comments or suggestions, just message that group, and admins, we're both admins, we can get on there and we can see the messages. But make sure to check them out, and there's a lot of other content on there as well that goes weekly. They do a lot of great interviews and shows over at the 4th and 99, so make sure to check those guys out too. They have so much good content coming out, and we have a lot of things coming your way. Just building. Me, Vic, and Cruz have been going at it. We've had like 3 meetings this week of trying to figure out what things and what they're building and this, that, the other. And we have another meeting with some other people that are going to be coming your way. So be sure to look out for that. We're going to have special guest appearances by some other content creators. I'm not gonna mention any names yet until I have all the details hashed out for sure. But we're gonna be bringing you some good stuff. So continue to follow, like, subscribe, and share, and everything else. Don't be selfish. Like I said, sharing is caring. Thank you all for your time and patience this evening, and we will see you next week. You are now exiting the 5280 zone.